Hey guys, Vinithian back with another video. This time it's of a game called Fractured. This is currently in its alpha. I managed to get a key thanks to a guild member, guild leader actually, of mine. And I'm going to be showing off the Enchanting, roughly how it's done, and I'm going to show a couple of recipes. As you can see, I'm in my guild's town in our Enchanting shop, whatever you want to call it, and this is the Enchanting table. So it's just, I open my inventory here. I'll go over shields, weapons, two-handed, one-handed, and trinkets. So first off, armor. Armor at this point is chest, helm, legs, and gloves, or sorry, boots and gloves. Weapons are two-handed, one-handed, and there's staves, bows, spears, quarterstaves, wooden club. And as of this update, we've gotten access to Foundry, which will allow us to make short swords and great swords and basically metal weapons, not something like a stick with a rocket tied to it. Necklaces are trinkets, or they're classified as trinkets. They're the only one in the game right now. I assume when rings get added, they will also be classified as trinkets. Potentially belts when they are added, but I feel that'll probably be armor. And yeah. So as you'll see on each of these items, there is an enchantments section. It'll say enchantments 04, 04, 04. This necklace, because of how it's made, already comes with an enchant on it, but that doesn't take one of its slots, so you get a free plus 2% critical chance and plus 4. So first off, I'm going to show you armor. And all armor, which as I mentioned before is helm, chest, boots, and shields, along with gloves, all will have these in alphabetical order, or mostly alphabetical order. There's a couple that are not quite right, but it will be accuracy, acid resistance, bonus endurance, bonus mana, etc. will be the same available enchants for all armor pieces. And you can see on the shield it says light armor. So as you see there, I'll take the armor out, all those enchants will go away, and I'll throw in a weapon. As you can see, accuracy stays the same, but now becomes more about dealing damage. Critical chance, critical damage, damage increase. And I'll just show the trinkets as well. Okay, and there you go. And trinkets, forgot to mention, are currently the only item that can have stat bonuses. So you see here, charisma bonus. A tier 1 charisma bonus enchant will give me +1, so that I'll take my 18 charisma to a 19 charisma. As you can see, I have an 18 charisma from character creation, and I have a +1 on a piece of my gear, which I believe is somewhere. I have a +1 on it, anyways. Okay, so armor. All of these, I don't know what they're actually called, but I'm going to call them runes. Every item requires a specific amount of a rune. So there's soul runes, transform runes, fire, order, chaos, water, negate, body, and those are all represented on items. As you'll see here on this animated flesh enchanting regent, it has soul 4, order 2, and time 2. As you'll see on this mushroom, it has body 2, transform 3, life 3. Different items have varying amounts. As you'll see, primordial dust, transform, chaos, time. Flower or dandelion has air, chaos, time. Zombie brains have mind, transform, chaos. And so for today, we're going to just show you a quick various armor utility one. I personally like it. Others not so much, is the evasion. And let's just scroll down here. Evasion, right here. It requires soul, transform, air, and chaos. So as we have it, I have these all set up. So we throw in soul, throw in mushroom, throw in some primordial dust, and as you'll see, these are going up in intervals. And as you'll see right here, they go blue, purple, and if you manage to get to halfway around on the purple, so it'll be 2 purple, or 2 blue, then 3 purple. As you'll see on this one right here, this has 3 purples. So we'll throw in a dandelion and scroll back up. This will give us our tier 1 evasion bonus. And if you manage to get, say if I had another item that had 1 more element of air and 1 more element of soul, it would up it, and 1 more element of chaos, it would up it to a tier 2 enchant. Tier 2 enchants take 2 enchantment slots, but they are stronger. So if I put a tier 1 on here, it'll take 1. So I can have 4 tier 1 enchants on an item, or 2 tier 2 enchants on an item that has 4 slots. So that's evasion, and that applies to all pieces of armor. Let's remove these out, move on to a different piece. Going to move on to the next in line is trinkets. So as I mentioned, trinkets are the only ones that are capable of having stat bonuses at the time of this video, which is the fall alpha. So for this one, I'm going to show off intellect first. So you need a pulsating geode, which you get from elementals, mushrooms you can gather around everywhere, and mandrake roots drop off of things like goblins, and you can loot them in places in the world. Basically gather everything and sort it out as you need it later, because there's so many different materials in this game for enchanting, it's kind of ridiculous. So as you see, with a pulsating geode, a mushroom, and a mandrake root, with this trinket in the enchanting table, I can now add a tier 1 intelligence bonus. And again, if I had some more transform or some energy in these 2 slots, I would be able to make this a tier 2, which would mean the tier 1, which is fairly simple for stats, is tier 1 is +1 point, tier 2 is +2 points, etc. Theoretically, if they add in, tier 3 will be 3, tier 4 will be 4, and essentially the bonuses double each time. So that was intellect. For all you casters out there or supports, is a fairly good one. Next we're going to show the strength for all you melee or physical damage dealers. Well, melee, not physical damage. Physical applies ranged, which deals with dex, or hitting people with big sticks, which is strength. So that is the wrong one. Need a penny bun mushroom and a troll liver. And boom. That would be a tier 1 strength enchant. That would give you +1 to strength. Simple, easy. Remove those out and look for the last one that I'm going to showcase, because I don't consider charisma and perception bonuses all that worth it. If you guys do, leave a comment down below and I will get the recipes and I will just post them in the comments or add them to the description. So for the next, we're going to do Constitution, which is health, basically. So for Constitution, you want a penny bun mushroom, you want a spider gland, and there you have a constitution. And that will give you +1 constitution. Easy peasy. Okay, now we'll get to weapons. And as I showed you, there are different weapons. So this is a physical damage weapon, potentially. But if I wanted to, I could add spell power to it. If I wanted to, I could add physical damage to a staff weapon which casts a magic projectile. It wouldn't really be beneficial, but that is the way the enchanting is right now. So for this spear, let's just do melee physical damage, because it's simple, easy. You don't want to be dealing with chances to crit or bonus crit damage unless you're running a build like that. So flat damage is simple, it's easy, and it's not too resource intensive. So you need a honeytail mushroom, you need a primordial dust, and you need plagued remains. Easy peasy. Damage increase. I believe this will give you 9% increased physical damage, whereas if I was to do spell, which I will show you next, gives you only 6% to spell damage. So now I'll show you, this is classified as a two-handed weapon. They don't have any modifiers in it that will let you know if it's one-handed or two-handed or not. Besides, like, this says medium melee weapon, and this is light. Light is always one-handed so far. So then I'll show you the damage increase. I'll take the primitive spear out, leave the enchanting materials in there, throw in the wooden club, and it has the exact same as if I was trying to put it onto the spear. And we'll take that out and add in one for you casters. Now, I wouldn't recommend putting this spell or this enchant on a physical weapon, because as a mage you have specific requirements for your spells. You need to either have either unarmed or a mage variant weapon. Staffs are classed as a mage weapon. This is not classed as a mage weapon, so you would be unable to cast any of your spells. But I will show you this spell anyways. This was actually found not by me, it was found by another guild member in our last test. Is a tier 2 spell damage enchant, which will give you, okay, as you see, this is all purple, all down to purple, and this is just halfway, which is good enough to meet the requirements to get tier 2. This is not, so I'll add in my last mandrake root, which will give me enough energy from it, because as you see there in the middle, it says energy 3. Throw that in there. This now meets the requirements of a tier 2 enchant, which means I would have a 12% additional spell damage instead of the tier 1, which is only 6. But that would mean that I'm taking up 2 of this weapon's 4 enchantment slots. Alright, so that's for a couple enchants, and I'll just briefly go over where you can find some of these items. So, as you see, this is the full map, and you can scroll in, scroll out a little bit so you can see the name of the place. Down here in the Whispering Woods, this area here, which is all like sandy desert, is a dead area. You will find undead, you will find ghouls, you'll find skeletons, and you will find variations of different spiders. The ghouls and zombies and skeletons will drop your fleshy bits, like animated flesh, plagued remains, things like that. Spiders will drop spider glands, spider eyes, their cloth materials like silk. Up here, a little bit farther in, is a goblin village. They will drop goblin tongues, mandrake roots. Mandrake roots can also be found harvestable throughout the world of Mir at this point. If you go over here to Heartwood, is where primordials or elementals reside, and you'll find like large tree elementals, treants, wisps, and they will drop things like sparks of life, elemental woods, pulsating geodes, things of that nature. Recently, they added in different trolls. There are forest trolls, sea trolls, and mountain trolls. Each of them will drop things like troll bloods, and they will drop their skins, like troll skin, mountain troll skin, sea troll skin, forest troll skin, things of that nature. And scattered throughout the world, you will find things like deer, which will drop antlers. They're non-hostile. They run away from you, so you have to chase them to kill them to get their antlers. Rabbits, which will drop rabbits' feet. They will also run. Foxes, you get foxtails from them. They'll run from you. But there are other things like bears. They're hostile, and you can get bear heads from them or bear claws. There are wolves, and there is wolves, dire wolves, and wargs all drop like wolf teeth, which are used in enchanting, which I can show you. Up here in Goblin Hills are more goblins. They'll drop more like goblin tongues and stuff like that. Slithering Moors has spiders if you happen to be up on this side of the map instead of way down here. And I'll show you real quick. These chests are just filled with enchanting materials, and I'll show you a couple. Like this. Bloodvein can be found pretty much anywhere in the world. Arnica is found throughout the world. Nightshade berries are found in darker areas like that Veil of Shadows down to the south where I told you the spiders and goblins would be. Shards of Corruption will drop off of big magical casting spiders. Honeytail mushrooms are found throughout the world. Bitterleaf is found throughout the world. Here we go. Wolf teeth drop off of wolves. Spider's eye, same thing. Spiders drop spider's eyes. Dark splinters will drop from the treants. And this is one of the newer items that was just added when trolls were added. I couldn't remember it was in troll blood. It's primal bloods. And I believe they also have a green looking vial. I'll see if I can find it. As you see, goblin tongues, living wood, wolfsbane and plants, living wood. Please tell me we have, there we go. Treant sap drops off of the elementals and treants over in the Heartwood. Noxious fumes drop down in the necrotic area, along with harvestable brain mushrooms drop in the undead area with all the spiders. Hardened skin is a new item that was just added along with the trolls. It does not look, oh, there we go. Ghoul saliva is another that drops off of the undead area. They're big, like hulking beasts. They're white and they'll mark you and then come chasing after you. As you see, bear claws, necrotic bones drop from skeletons, troll liver drop from trolls, replicating tissue also I believe drops from trolls. Those are a bunch of the new items that were just added in this most recent alpha. And I hope to see you guys in game. Till next time, Vinithian.